Tuesday the 27th of September and welcome to From the South. In an emotional open-air ceremony, President Juan Manuel Santos welcomed the communist FARC rebels into the political sphere after signing the accord with FARC leader Timoleon Timochenko Jimenez, who also apologized to the countless victims of the country's half-century civil war. Colombians gave mixed reactions to the signing, with many celebrating the deal and others expressing skepticism over any real possibility of peace.
Argentina's Congress is set to debate the gender equality bill with the aim of promoting a wider presence of women in public office. At least 50% of the names on election ballots will now need to be women.
There is quite a considerable majority in both houses, the Senate and the lower house, and the same in some important provinces in Argentina, for this to be achieved. I insist this will be a major step, and it will be a result of legislative debate.
According to activists who endorsed the bill, and unlike previous decades, they have found strong support from male members of parliament, who will be called to play a key role in the struggle against patriarchal culture.
This is a matter of strict justice. Equity, as the French women say, is perfect equality. I mean, this would be a representation of the same proportion of what women represent in society, so it's justice. In the same way that the old law that established a minimum percentage of women in the parliament, I believe this will push the gender debates forward.
Other sectors that support the initiative warn that while the bill is positive, it is still far from establishing mechanisms which will guarantee equal representation for women in public charges that are not elected by vote, such as ministries and others within the executive branch.
The bill we are sending to the Senate is aimed at gender equality. We want it to allow us women, such as happens in other Latin American countries and in other parts of the world, to have a 50% representation. Because we believe that that is true equality, and it will empower us within the civil rights movements that we have.
In the province of Buenos Aires, which is the largest electoral district in the country, a similar bill has already been passed in the Senate, and it is likely to be approved in the upcoming weeks. Now it seems to be a turn for the National Congress to take a step forward in the matter. Laureano Ponce, teleSur's, Buenos Aires.
Latinos living in the United States are talking after Monday night's presidential debate, which saw many disagreements on policy between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. But Latinos aren't only talking. Activists are going door to door, targeting those who do not normally vote, with the hope of inspiring others to keep Republican candidate Trump out of the Oval Office. Trump's anti-Latino rhetoric is to blame, as his talks of borders and walls have been described as incendiary and racially divisive. Some New Yorkers have expressed that they were unimpressed by Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump's performance during Monday night's US presidential debate. One undecided voter told Reuters that they felt Trump was not prepared, which was disappointing. The Syrian city of Aleppo continued to be hit by Russian and Syrian warplanes this Tuesday, according to a monitoring group. The Syrian Observatory for Human Rights said at least 11 people were killed in 2 Aleppo neighborhoods. More than 250,000 civilians are believed to be trapped inside a besieged rebel-held sector of the city. Bombings claimed by the Islamic State group hit shopping areas in Shiite districts of the Iraqi capital of Baghdad. At least 17 people were killed and 55 others wounded, according to security and medical officers. This attack comes after 2 days after another suicide bombing killed 6 people in western Baghdad. War crimes judges have found the Malian jihadist guilty of destroying Timbuktu's failed shrines, jailing him for 9 years. The historic verdict is the first to focus solely on cultural destruction as a war crime, and the first arising out of the conflict in Mali. Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte asked Beijing to control drug gangs supplying narcotics to the Philippines, and to help his crackdown on narcotics. During a speech in an abandoned drug factory in Pampanga, Duterte said that he will be asking for help from both Russia and China to stop the flow of narcotics in the Philippines. The third typhoon to hit Taiwan in 2 weeks has killed 4 people and injured scores. The violent winds and heavy rain caused schools and offices to close. Thousands of people were forced to evacuate their homes. The storm played havoc with rail and road networks as it made landfall in the early afternoon.
The Honduran Doctors Association is leading a struggle against the government's intentions of approving a new general health law which will privatize the health service.
We are protesting against the privatization of our health system. It's a law that has already been used because it is a copy of Colombia's 1993 health law, known as the 100 Law, that has proved to be inefficient in giving equal health services. Only a part of the population with enough money has access to all medical services. Those who can't pay, those who are poor and vulnerable, have no access to a good health system.
This week, the Honduran National Congress is expected to approve new laws relating to the country's health service. The new Social Security law will put an end to universal and equal health care. The Honduran people will be guaranteed to basic health services, but complicated surgeries or more demanding health treatments will have to be paid separately. The other law out for consideration will potentially pass the administration of public hospitals to private organizations or companies, effectively privatizing the services.
If these laws are approved, what comes next is privatization, the payment for health services, and obviously this is what we are trying to stop at the National Congress, because if we let these laws pass, that will be the end of our public health system.
The doctors have now the support of the Nurses Association and of other worker unions within the country's health system. This week, they will attempt to protect universal access for health services for all Hondurans. Gerardo Torres, TeleSur, Honduras.
2 Ukrainian artists have created art from war. Daria Marchenko and Daniel Green created sculptures, collages and installations out of pieces of shrapnel and parts of weapons and ammunition. It took artists almost a year to complete the project, which will soon be put on display in the United States. More on these and other stories on our website telesurtv.net/English.